Julie here from Copy What I Used to Revision, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to use memory palaces to remember lists or tricky information. They've been around, they're not something new, they've been around since Roman times. For some reason there's still only the few that know about them, and they can be so much easier and quicker to remember lists of information. Okay, so in today's, because a lot of people within the comments have actually been saying to me, have you actually got to go on a physical journey, you actually walk around your house to try and remember these facts? The answer is no. What you need to do, it just makes it easier if you know the locations you're using to attach your imaginary images to, in order to remember it in your memory. So what I'm going to do today, we'll use a physics list today, because I'll demonstrate for you how to use this memory palace technique. Okay, so there's a list. I've just selected a list of the 8 main subject areas in physics GCSE, and basically the energy, electricity, particle model of matter, atomic structure, forces, waves, magnetism and electromagnetism, and space physics. Okay, and then what you do then, you choose either rooms in your house or a journey, or in this instance I'm going to use my garden. And what I have done for demonstration purposes, you can obviously follow what I've done. That's a picture of a part of my garden. And what I have done is I've actually numbered items within my garden. For example, a table is number 1, my computer's number 2, and number 3 is the chair. And this will all become self-explanatory now as I go through this memory process. Okay, so the first item on your list that you want to remember, first of all, I forgot to say, you need to count how many items are on your list. In this instance, there are 8 items. So you would actually put 8 what I call stations within your journey or your loci, okay, within the memory palace, because this is what is your memory palace. So okay, so first item on the list is energy, and we're going to try and remember that in location number 1, which is on the table. So what I have decided to do is I have put a light bulb that's actually flashing bright pink, and that's to remind me of energy, a light bulb. So you put in a light bulb, imaginary in your mind, on station number 1, which is the table. So when you think of the table, you're thinking about a pink, bright flashing light. The reason why I say pink is it's a known fact that the more out there you make it, because you wouldn't normally have a pink flashing light, or at least I don't have them in my house, the more likely you are to remember it. Okay, on number 2 is the computer. And on number 2, we're going to try and remember electricity. So it's quite easy because the computer is electric anyway. But what I'm going to do is having sparks that are actually coming off the computer to try and remember then electricity, which is number 2. Number 3 then is where we're going to put something on the chair. Now this one is a bit of a mouthful. It is particle model of matter. So the easy one I've come up with is a partially clothed model balancing on the chair, and she disappears in a puff of steam, because steam is a form of matter, isn't it? So that is for particle model of matter. All right, then we move on to number 4, which in my garden then is like a green rubbish bin, and on there we need to remember atomic structure. So the easiest thing I can think of there is a loud explosion comes out of the bin, because like I said, noises, any sort of noises you can relate to, or graphics of images, you're more likely to remember. So just have a loud explosion bang coming as a nuclear bomb blasts the lid off the rubbish bin, and that's atomic structure. Number 5, we've got my pizza oven there, and to make that memorable, I'm going to have members of the armed forces climbing out of my pizza oven, because that's not something you see every day, so I'm more likely to remember it. And they're going to just try and keep this atomic explosion contained so it doesn't go in a cloud up into the sky and pollute everybody else. Okay, so we're going to remember the forces bit of that, which is number 5. Number 6 then is that bush there, or that hedge in my garden. And with that one, this is a waves one. So I'm just going to have like a rumble of thunder, and it's going to be waves actually cascading over my hedge into my garden, and my garden's filling up with water. Okay, now number 7, the location of that one is a tree. And what I'm going to attach to the tree are big magnets, because we need to remember on this one magnetism and electromagnetism. And I'm just going to go up to the tree to position these magnets, and they suck up then all the water and all the sparks and the electric suck into it. And that's to remember magnetism and electromagnetism. And our final station is the cockerel. I love my metal cockerel that my brother bought for me. Okay, so he's number 8, and on him we're going to have Tim Peake the astronaut, landing right by the cock, and he swoops the cockle into his arms and he goes back in his rocket then up to space, because obviously then he's a prompt for space physics. Okay, so that's how I use the memory palaces, by attaching different loci, which are just positions within a memory palace, to remember lists of information. And I've just put imaginary items then to try and remember. So if we think of table, what do we have on the table? And I'm not looking at the other list for this. On the table we had the pink flashing light bulb, which reminds me of energy. Number 2 was the computer with the sparks coming out of it, so that's electricity. So we've got energy, electricity. Number 3, can you remember what that was on the chair? This was a bit of a mouthful. It was a partially something model, wasn't it? Partially model of matter. Remember, she went up into steam. Number 4 then is the explosion, the nuclear explosion, and that's to remind us of the atomic structure because of atomic bomb. Then number 5, we've got the armed forces, remember, coming up the pizza oven to try and contain this explosion, so they're forces. Number 6 then, we've got the hedge with all the waves coming over, the crashing waves coming over, so that's waves. Number 7 then, can you remember what number 7 is? Was the magnet, so it's magnetism and electromagnetism. And number 8 was my cockerel with Timpy, the spaceman coming down, these space physics. So I hope that helped. If you sort of like these sort of memory techniques, which I highly recommend because it makes learning, especially with children, so much quicker and so much more fun, and for the whole family, I can highly recommend a book called Dr. Chan's GCSE Total Recall System. It comes complete with a 30-day money-back guarantee, no quibble guarantee, so there's actually nothing to lose by trying it out. And it doesn't just include this type of memory technique, it includes other memory techniques as well, including the alphabet system and also how to remember number and dates easier. Okay, so that's Dr. Chan's GCSE Total Recall System. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as ever, if you do, please keep the comments coming. I love to hear from you and I'll always reply to them. Alright, I'll pop the link to this manual for you at the bottom for any of those interested. I will just say though, it's an affiliate link, so there is a chance I could get paid a small commission if you click on my link to purchase. But rest assured, you won't pay any more whatsoever. You'll still pay the same amount. It's just the product owner will pay me a small commission. Alright, that's it for today's video. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.